TNB cries fake news over electricity tariff hike. Main suspect linked to Daesh Wolfpack Cell charged in court. Hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. You're watching News on 2 with me, Mohamad Carlos. Tenaga Nasional Berhad TNB in a statement today has denied claims on social media that the government has instructed the utility company to increase the electricity tariffs by 30%. While it described the message purportedly a directive issued by TNB's board of directors as untrue. Now, the posting came in as in the wake of complaints of unusually high electricity bills experienced by consumers over the past week, where TNB said the message, supposedly written by a TNB employee, is false. It added that TNB does not have any employee, as stated in the message. It added that electricity tariffs were set by the Energy Commission. Now, the main suspect of the Daesh Wolfpack Cell, who was alleged to have been planning the murder of high-profile personalities, was charged at the Kuala Terengganu Sessions Court today with committing 8 offences. And the accused Mohamad, 33, has also been planning to conduct large-scale attacks at various places of worship in the country. Now, the suspect was charged under Section 130J, subsection 1, subsection B, with 2 counts of looking for support to carry out attacks at the Sri Mahamariamman Temple in Seafield and threatened to kill 4 Malaysians through the WhatsApp Sejati Sejiwa group. The accused was also charged under Section 130F, subsection A, for allegedly agreeing to provide firearm trainings to the members of the group. A charge under Section 130F, subsection B, was also read out to him by Judge Aziman Yaakob for allegedly instructing the group to carry out a terror attack. Mahathir was charged with 2 offences under Section 130JD, subsection 1, with the intention of obtaining 6 pipe bombs to commit terror attacks and knowingly obtaining a semi-automatic CZ-75B pistol and 15 Luger 9mm bullets to carry out the attacks. He was also charged under Section 130E with knowingly that the adjust and allegedly owning information connected to the terrorist group in a mobile phone. And all the charges were committed at Kampong Terrace, Hulu Terengganu between 7 January and 5th May. A 25-year-old man was sentenced to 16 years in jail and 5 whips of the rotan by the Kota Bharu Sessions Court on the charge of raping an underage girl in June last year. Now, the sentence was meted out by Judge Ahmad Bazli Barudin on Abdul Rahman Rosli after the defense failed to prove and provide proof beyond reasonable doubt. Now, according to the charge sheet, Abdul Rahman was accused of raping the girl, who was then 15 years and 2 months old, near some bushes at Pantai Amat in Pangkalan Chepa, Kota Bharu, between 12:30 a.m. and 2 a.m. on the 4th of June 2018. Now, he was charged under Section 376, subsection 1 of the Penal Code, which carries a maximum jail sentence of 20 years and rotan if convicted. Shaharuddin Mohamad, who represented the accused for appeal for a more lenient sentence, as it was his client's first offence. Plus, he was a wife and a child to take care of. Now, the search and rescue mission SAR of a missing youth, Muhammad Farid Adnan, 16, who was feared missing at Sungai Baram near a jetty in front of Sekolah Kebangsaan Dato Sharif Hamid, Marudi, Sarawak, resumed this morning. Well, according to the Miri Zone Fire and Rescue Department Chief, Law Po Kyong said the SAR, which entered the 2nd day, began as early as 6:20 a.m. He said the operation concentrated on the surface of the river and the riverbank, covering an area around Kampong Narum, Lubuk Naga and Ferry Base, with a search radius of some 18 kilometers. The SAR involved teams from the Fire and Rescue Department, Police, General Operations Force and villagers. In yesterday's 3:30 p.m. incident, the victim was believed to have fallen into the river and apparently swept away by strong currents while fishing with 2 friends at the boat jetty. Now, parents and guardians must ensure that children who receive their motorcycle license at the age of 16 are well advised of the road rules, which should be adhered to. Now, Transport Minister Anthony Loke Siu-Fook, when asked if the ministry had plans to increase the age for youths before they can apply for a motorcycle license, well, she said there was a proposal for this, but no decision has been made. Loke said there are pros and cons to the proposal. He added that one drawback is there will be a possibility that more young people will be riding without a valid license.
Kita juga bimbang kalau kita meningkatkan umur penunggang motosikal, ramai pula yang menunggang tanpa lesen. Walaupun sekarang ini kita tetapkan pada umur 16 untuk mengambil lesen motosikal. Tetapi kita tahu bahawa di kampung-kampung, di kawasan-kawasan estate, di kawasan-kawasan luar bandar, ada budak-budak umur 13, 14, 15 tahun, mereka mengambil motosikal. Ada di kalangan mereka ambil motosikal ibu bapa mereka tetapi tidak dikawal oleh ibu bapa sendiri.
Loke said this after launching Yamaha's 21st Balik Kampung Road Safety Campaign in Seremban, Negeri Sembilan, yesterday. While Sarawak Royal Customs Department have seized contrabands and alcohol-based drinks believed to be smuggled with an estimate of 115,799 ringgit and 38 sen, including tax in Miri. Now, Sarawak Customs Director Dato' Sharifah Halimah Tengku Taha, in a statement released, said a raid was conducted at a premise in Permijaya believed to carry out illegal sales of contraband and alcohol drinks that have yet to be approved by Customs. It is believed the seized items were worth 17,435 ringgit and 35 sen with an estimated tax of 98,364 ringgit and 3 sen. The Sarawak Customs Director further noted that a man was arrested to facilitate investigations under Section 135, Subsection 1 of the Customs Act 1967. Well, a 21-year-old man was nabbed yesterday evening for receiving money to transport katum leaves from Naka to a supplier in Perlis before it is sold in Thailand. Now, the suspect, who is from Kangar, Perlis, was arrested during a roadblock at Jalan Kampung Tengah, Kuala Nerang, near Padang Terap, Kedah. And Padang Terap Police Chief DSP Noh Idris said a team of Padang Terap police officers had stopped a Proton Wira during the roadblock and found 30 black plastic bags containing katum leaves. Now, the seized katum leaves was estimated to weigh 300 kilograms, worth an overall total of 9,000 ringgit. The suspect is under remand for 4 days and is being investigated under Section 30, Subsection 3 of the Poisons Act 1952. Well, a local trawler boat, together with 3 men aged between 27 and 34, were detained by the Johor Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency for allegedly fishing at an unauthorized fishing zone in Pontian, Johor yesterday. Now, the arrest was made during the second Ops Khas Pagar Laut conducted this year. Now, Johor MMEA Director First Admiral Aminuddin Abdul Rashid, in a statement, said the men were detected by the maritime ship 1 nautical mile west of Pulau Pisang in Pontian, Johor. One inspection done on the boat's license found that it had been compounded for the same offence earlier. And First Admiral Aminuddin said the case is being investigated under Section 8, Subsection B of the Fisheries Act 1985 for violating fishing licence term. Well, Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah describes Datuk Dahlan Zainuddin, who passed away last night after suffering a stroke, as a kind and humble human being after paying his last respects to the late legendary singer. His Majesty also said that the veteran singer was also a role model to others and hoped other local artists will emulate his kindness. Now, the King also performed funeral prayers for Darlin at Sayyidina Abu Bakar and Siddiq Mosque in Bangsar at 9:30 a.m. today. As a fan of Darlin himself, His Majesty described the demise of the singer as a great loss to local entertainment industry. He said he had known Dato' Darlin for a long time, as he was always invited to official events in Pahang. And the veteran singer's remains was later buried at the Bukit Kiara Muslim Cemetery after the Zohor prayers. Now, Bank Negara refutes U.S. Treasury claim of Malaysia as currency manipulator. Stay with us. And welcome back. Now, the ever-changing dynamics of the international order on how the new technologies shape the future outlook will be the gist of Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad's keynote address at the opening of the 25th International Conference on the Future of Asia, the Nikkei Conference, tomorrow in Japan. Tun Dr. Mahathir will be the first leader to deliver a keynote address at the conference, which aptly themed Seeking a New Global Order, Overcoming the Chaos. Malaysian ambassador to Japan, Datuk Kennedy Jawan, said the event would be a platform for the Premier to put forth Malaysian policies and stand, as well as attracting more trade and investment into the country.
I think feedback is it is a very positive feedback in terms of the current government. If we look at the early part of this year, again, the release of the samurai bond was well received. So this is also one of the indications of the confidence of the Japanese business sector, I guess, in Malaysia's economy. I think this is just one of the many, I think.
Tun Dr. Mahathir, who is scheduled to arrive in Tokyo today for a 3-day working visit, is a regular attendee at the prestigious event, skipping it only 4 times. This will be his 4th visit to Japan after his return to helm the country for the 2nd time since winning the general election in May 2018. Now, Bank Negara Malaysia says there are no consequences to Malaysia's economy from the country's inclusion in the United States Treasury's monitoring list of potential currency manipulators. Well, it said the Malaysian economy remains resilient, underpinned by strong economic fundamentals, including the flexibility accorded by a floating exchange rate and strong external balance. Well, Malaysia is among 9 countries in the list, alongside China, Germany, Italy, Ireland, Japan, South Korea, Singapore and Vietnam. The inclusion comes with no immediate penalty. Malaysia also met 2 of the 3 criteria amid a significant bilateral trade surplus with the US of $27 billion and material current account surplus of 2.1% of GDP. Explaining this, now Bank Negara said Malaysia supported free and fair trade and did not undertake unfair currency practices. As acknowledged by the report, the central bank's intervention over the last few years had been in both directions of the foreign exchange market. Now, Bank Negara said about half of Malaysia's trade surplus is driven by commodity exports, which is largely influenced by global demand and supply, as opposed to the exchange rate. Now, it added that the manufactured goods surplus, on the other hand, is partly driven by the long-standing presence of large export-oriented multinational corporations in Malaysia, including from the US. The National Higher Education Fund Corporation, PTPTN, needs at least 4 billion ringgit a year to ensure new students at varsities are able to enjoy the benefits of the study loan. Now, PTPTN Communications Strategic and Marketing Senior General Manager Abdul Ghaffar Yusuf said, however, loan repayments continue to be dismal, with the National Study Loan Body collecting only about 58% of its target so far this year. Abdul Ghaffar said PTPTN was supposed to be collecting 300 million ringgit a month, but are only receiving between 150 to 180 million ringgit each month.
Last year kita sepatutnya collect lebih kurang dalam sepatutnya 4 bilion setahun kita perlu collect. Kerana kita perlu beri pada pelajar-pelajar baru dan juga pelajar yang sedia ada ni 4 bilion. Jadi sekarang ni mungkin momentum tu masih yang potong gaji tu masih okey lah. Tapi ada yang masih lagi belum bayar dan sebagainya tu masih lagi ada defaulters. Tapi secara keseluruhannya consultation paper tu akan memberi kita satu ruang yang mana idea tu boleh diterjemahkan jadi polisi bayaran balik PTPTN.
Speaking at the PTPTN Debt-Free Competition 2018-2019 organised by Youths today, Abdul Ghaffar said as at April 30th, the current cumulative outstanding loan amount involving 350,000 defaulters stood at 6.5 billion ringgit. Now, Peerless Social Security Organisation, SOCSO, has paid compensations of around 900,000 ringgit to qualified receivers. And State SOCSO Director Basharuddin Khalid says around 2.8 million ringgit for various compensations were distributed last year.
Benda ni kita berterusan. Selagi ada permohonan, kita akan buat pembayaran. Sama ada pembayaran pencen ilat penakad ataupun melibatkan kes kemalangan.
Speaking to the media after handing over the SOCSU checks to the applicants in Kangar, Basharuddin said the checks given today were the 5 retired women who received the checks based on disability, retrenchment and funeral expenses. The event was officiated by Kangar Assemblyman Rosiana Ahmad. And with that, we conclude this evening's News on 2. In our top story, TNB cries fake news over electricity tariff hike. Do join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Mohamad. I'm in Carlos. Stay tuned to TV2, and we wish you a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.